dating in 2026 is absolutely cooked. One of my best friends just got broken up after a 2+ year relationship. The reason? No one knows. And that's my biggest fear right there. I don't want some girl to be influenced, whether it be through social media, whether it be through her friends, no matter what it be, to believe that just ending it is worth it. That's not the case at all. That's not the case at all. But so many people, more and more people believe that. And it's genuinely concerning me because at some point, are we even going to have God-fearing women to date, to marry, to reproduce with? I mean, that's a genuine concern I have. Social media ruined dating. I mean, that's just a fact. That's a fact. It ruined it by, well, let me just give you an example or an analogy. Like in the 1950s, I mean, you didn't have social media. You read the newspaper maybe for 30 minutes a day. And that was it. You didn't worry about other people's business for the most part. And you would just go and live your life 9 to 5, maybe if you're the guy, and the wife would most of the time stay at home and take care of the kids. I mean, it was, I don't know. I wish I kind of grew up in that time. Mainly because obviously I don't want to be in this digital era, but the difference between then and now is, well, you just don't see as many people as you do now. What do I mean by that? Well, you go online and you see the top 1% of the 1% from different areas of the entire world. Different countries, different continents, you see these people that are attractive. See these people that maybe you like their personality, whatever it may be. You see these people. And yeah, it's kind of hard to find people who are as attractive as the most popular Instagram models or TikTok dancers or whatever crap you watch. It's hard to find people like that in real life. But not a lot of people understand that, because they want someone similar to what they see online. In reality, it's basically impossible, unless if you hit the jackpot. Another reason for all this bad dating nonsense is because there's just less Christianity. Let's just be real. There's not near as much Christianity as there used to be at any period of time in history. There just isn't. And that leads to a lot of divorce, obviously. And I know Christians who have had divorce, but I mean, you have this no-cause divorce, so you can just break it because you want to, and that leads to a lot of unloyalty. And that leads to a lot of anxiety. It makes you feel on edge, when in reality, love should not be that way. Love should be a commitment you have to opposite sex spouse. And it really should. And we don't understand that at this point. People think love is an emotion, but it is a commitment to another person. That's all it is. An interesting question I've heard before is, would you love your parents if they weren't your parents? Right? I mean, you're born into your family, you have no choice in that. And whether it's a good family like mine, I was lucky and blessed enough to have a great set of parents, or you're not as lucky as me and you didn't have the best home life growing up, whatever it is, would you still love those people if they weren't your, parents? For me, I think I still would. I mean, I love some of my friends' parents who are great people as well, right? I mean, they're just great people. But I think it's important, if you do love your parents, even if they weren't your parents, if you were to do that, if you were to love your parents, if they weren't your parents, to find someone like them. Obviously, you're not going to find someone identical, and you probably shouldn't. That would maybe be a little weird, but find a great, God-fearing woman, a man, whatever. I'm assuming more men are watching this than women, but find a God-fearing woman that you will just love, that you can read the Bible with, that you can rant to about. I mean, anything you can imagine. You do that with her and you feel comfort. I mean, that's the woman you want. But if you're scared about what she has to say about something, like a belief that you have, or something that that you think she should change, maybe, in her personality, and you're scared to confront her about that, it's probably not a good relationship. It just isn't. Because, I mean, love is a commitment, as I've said. And if you're not going to be open to the person you love the most, you really don't love that person. You're just kind of scared of the consequences that could happen, which is another reason why we're cooked in this generation. So many people are scared of the consequences of whatever it is happening. That's why so many people lie, right? They're scared of the consequences of something that they did, right? We have the sinful nature. We know that Adam and Eve gave us the sinful nature. And so, I mean, from a young age, you can take the analogy of, stealing a cookie from a cookie jar when you're 5 years old. Inherently, that's bad, right? You know it's bad. That's your moral law that you have inside of your conscience. You know it's bad, but you still want to do it because you want the pleasure of tasting a good cookie. And you can literally do this with anything in life, right? I mean, obvious example for men is pornography. You want to feel the pleasure of doing it, and you don't really care about the consequences it has to your brain. It absolutely destroys your brain when you watch that stuff. I mean, it's same concept with a lot of things, right? And you're usually afraid to admit the sins that you commit. That was a bar. You're afraid to admit the sins you commit. No one wants to admit that they watch porn. No one wants to admit that they smoke weed or are an alcoholic, especially to people they love, because they're scared of the repercussions. They're scared of the consequence. So many people are scared of the consequences now, and consequences for your bad actions are what make you a better person. And that's just truth. That's just truth. When you're more open about yourself in your struggles to people you love the most, that's just going to make you and the other person better off. Okay? I mean, that's just how it works. But in dating nowadays, I mean, I've been in a relationship where communication was just terrible. It was terrible. Like, you're afraid. I was afraid to admit that stuff. I'm sure the other party was afraid to admit her mistakes as well. And then they just never got across. Yeah, it was a bad relationship. But that's just the truth, okay? I mean, I'm glad I had that relationship. I learned a lot about what I should do, what I shouldn't do, mainly. How to learn from those mistakes. And, you know, even then, I mean, I believe she was, you know, a very God-fearing woman. But even then, I mean, it just did not work out at all. And, you know, I don't have anything against her personally at this point, but didn't work out. And that's fine. Like I said, I mean, it's very rare that you're going to find your soulmate the first time you think you have, right? I mean, I thought I did. Didn't. And many people are like that as well. But it is scary, because you do want to find that soulmate. And it's just more and more concerning, I guess, with social media, because there's a lot less loyalty, right? Back in the day, you wouldn't have to worry about guys sliding into your girl's DMs or, you know, snapping, whatever. Now, that is a serious issue going on. There's just so many concerns that you have nowadays that just weren't there back in the day, all because of social media. I sound like an old, you know, I sound like my mom. I'm grateful she's like this too, but, you know, it's all because of social media. It really is that dang phone, son. I really want to find my future wife at church. Even then, I mean, it's not safe. It's not a safe bet. I mean, it's like, dude, the options are few and far between, and it's just getting slimmer and slimmer the older I get. It's just puts me more on edge the more and more I think about it. But at the end of the day, you can only control yourself. You shouldn't be worried about your future relationships, because when you worry only about yourself and worry about your relationship with God, the chips will fall in place. You won't have to worry about relationships in the future with a spouse, because they will find you. But the options are very slim. The women are just, they're not getting worse and worse, but it's what surrounds them that make it seem that way. So I pray that you will find a God-fearing woman in your life, that you find someone who truly does love you and truly does love the Lord and truly does have that commitment, the true love not the emotion love, the commitment love to you in your life. Thank you guys for watching. God bless.